Hey YouTube, what's up? In this video, I'm going to talk about people who get stressed out over completely about nothing, and it's and it's and it drives people. And not only it drives me insane, but it also drives other people insane. And here's why: even if someone is talking to you and you're not giving and if you're not giving off a tangent, as people call them, where you would just start yelling and throwing just about every word in the book, if you know what I mean. And people are like trying to talk to you, and they're casual, and it doesn't mean that you have to do all that, because all they're doing is just talking to you. Like, so how are you? And someone just really replies and say, like, I'm fucking terrible. I was like, okay. Something like that. I mean, some people, even if the conversation is, on something or whatever, but it doesn't really mean that you have to go that far. If the person didn't give off that vibe, neither should you. That's like the number one thing is don't overreact, I should say. Don't overreact if someone is reacting badly or poorly or whatever. So yeah, that's like the number one thing that people should understand is never stress out over something if nothing has occurred. Get my drift? And especially when people stress out. People, when they stress out hardcore. They stress out to the point where, their anxiety goes up. The only kid, in my experience and I go through the same thing, but, differently than other people, but but if you stress out over something so small that sometimes you think about what you're stressing over about. It could be completely about nothing, and you're just stressed out just because you're stressed out. Don't over stress yourself like that, because that's not good. Plus it's not good for your anxiety. It's not good for your pulse. It's not good for your heart, and it's definitely not good with people around you, because if someone sees you and if they don't know how you're reacting and you're in public, yeah, that's a big some people might think you're crazy, but no, if someone actually does think you're crazy, just I'm sure that they would understand if it has to do with something that you're like stressed out about, but just don't do it in public or anything, I mean, just keep it to a minimum if you're in public. because people will see you in the wrong light if you do it in public. And that's I noticed in the past there's like a whole bunch of people that just does this just to not for attention or anything, just because. I mean, not just because, but something like something like a disorder or whatever. You know, so we're to the point where they can't help it. Let's put it that way. To the point where they can't help it, where they can't really. Some people don't really know how to stop themselves if they are going too overboard, like too overstressed, and sometimes that could lead you into heavy dehydration. It does take a lot out of you. It takes all the energy. If you use up all your anxiety over just completely nothing, it'll drain you. It'll drain you like it'll drain you faster than a battery. Or yeah, faster than a battery. And since we're always on the go, our brain is always on the go. Even when we're sleeping, uh, you know, that's always a helpful thing for doctors to say. If you're sick or something, always rest. Even if you're stressed out, always rest. It's kind of something that everyone needs to learn about is when you're like stressed out, just take a rest. Even if someone's talking to you, like what I said before, just take a rest. Don't just you can still continue to talk to them, but just keep it down. I mean, keep it, especially since we're all behind keyboards and stuff like that. If you like do it caps lock or whatever each time, it's like that's not really necessary at all. That's not really necessary at all. And even though that we're on the internet and you're watching this on the internet, and sometimes just need to think about what you're doing before you're doing it. It might make you feel good, but to the point it might not feel so good from another person. You gotta think about how would they feel. How would you feel if someone actually did that to you? How would you feel? You would feel terrible as well. You would just feel miserable. You would feel like some people just don't really care, but sometimes you just need to care. You just need to care about who you're talking to and what you're talking about and stuff like that. And if you're creating like an argument about something, then well, all I have to say is talk to the person one on one, not in a group chat or something, because that will just that would just escalate, very, very high, because then some of the other people might think, oh well, I don't know, but some people are like that. Some people are like that. And anyway, I just wanted to address something. So anyway, I'm just making a sandwich right now. So much to, well, not really so much to do, but anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Remember to rate, subscribe, and if you like more of these, I might delete one of my playlists and actually start making a motive and inspired uh, playlist of videos like this, because people need to hear something from someone that goes through this. So anyway, I'll talk to you all later. I might do that sometime soon, or I might just make a whole new channel. Just keep a lookout. All right, talk to you later.